Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year, everybody. We're at day 2 in a brand new year. I hope you've set a theme for this year for yourself. Mine actually is to aim to be the best me in 2023. Nothing really original there, just wanting to do my best so for myself so that I can be there for those who may need my help and I can live my best life. It's not rocket science at all. It's just a matter of what I can do to try to make a difference in all areas of my life and the lives of those that I would love to be able to help. And this last month, we sort of did a review in the midst of all the context of the chaos of the holidays, in that context, to develop a plan to implement as this new year begins. And just a quick review of it is, it was my desire that we all work smarter, not harder, because evidence shows that sometimes working harder, not smarter, is one of the reasons why we let go of resolutions so quickly once we've set them and begin them. It's just way too hard. And with everything else you have to go that's going on in your life, you don't have the time to make all of those difficult changes that you've set for yourself. And one of the things we first determined as I began this talk is planning is an action. It's not just a matter, like Nike says, of just do it. Do what? Do it when? Do it how? Do it with whom? All these things sort of come into play is so the action of planning is something that we sort of went through during the month of December when we were busy doing other things that demanded our time and attention, and rightfully so. We looked at jotting down what we thought our goal was going to be as the number one thing. And we talked about having the power to ask the right question. Do you want to lose weight, for example? That could be a goal. Or do you want to get healthy? That's an entirely different goal. They may have some of the same actions in common, but what's your intent? What are you planning for? Is the question really, how can I become more healthy, not reach just a particular number on a scale or whatever? Those are wonderful short-term goals. Some of them we do every single day, especially if you have a walking goal. That often is something that you're going to focus on almost every day of the week, or some type of activity goal, be it walking or something else. And then we had talked next about taking all the many goals that are involved in whatever plan we're developing and turning those into milestones, sort of checkpoints along the way to determine whether it's working for us, whether it's possible or impossible, and what do I need to accomplish this before I reach it? And then where do I go from there? Once I've gotten to the first milestone, do I have a roadmap that helps me? And then we reviewed all the resources it was going to take to help empower us to reach these goals. And if it's like making a cake, if you don't have all the ingredients at hand, the cake may not turn out the way you planned. You can substitute certain things for certain other things, and it's still a quality product. But there's some things that you really would have a little bit of trouble substituting for. So you need to make sure those things that are essential you have on hand as you go through each day. And then we talked about prioritizing, what is most important first. our goal may have many different moving parts. And so where do you set your focus as you begin? And that was last week. And now it is the new year. I'm one day into working this plan. I have partners in place to help me. That are committed to going this journey with me and holding me accountable if I don't fulfill something I've indicated is part of my plan. And those people are really critical because you need their honesty, you need their feedback at every major milestone. One of the things that I really want us to think about right now is the fact that the plan we have made to start the new year with is not static. It is dynamic and it's subject to evolve as we change and we begin working through whatever plan we set up for ourselves. I guess one of the most critical things that I'd like you to think about is agility, the ability to look at what you have planned, analyze whether it's working or not working, or if you should be doing something different to assure success in the long term. So many of us write down the plan, and that's the plan. It can't be deviated from. Yes, it can. Plans change. We all experience that almost on a daily basis. I know if you're a mom and you've ever had a kid look at you at 10 o'clock in the evening and say, well, we need to send 2 dozen cookies to school tomorrow morning. You know that the plans for the rest of your evening have probably changed considerably, and you hope that you'll be able to adapt. And that's just how life is. It is subject to change without notice, and we need a certain degree of agility and flexibility so that we don't get thrown off track and just say, oh, what the heck, my life is too busy, I can't do this, I just quit, I can't add this to my life right now. And that happens if you can keep an open mind. Right now, as we begin this implementation phase, what I'd like for us to really think about is the constant need to review what our plan is, reflect on how it's going, and then refine it as we go. Things often need tweaking. That's just common, that you need to make minor adjustments. When I used to sew, and sewing is one of those things that I got away from quite a few years ago, but I always enjoyed because alteration is part of sewing, adjusting as you go to assure the best fit of whatever it is that you're making. And ripping out often is necessary in order to make the adjustments. Sometimes we have to let go of something we thought that was critical to the plan in order to give the plan a chance to be successful. And you often don't find that out until you put the action in place and you say, oh, well, that probably wasn't the best idea I've ever had. I think I need to reconsider, rethink, and revise what I'm doing. It may save me time. It may be easier to do a different way. Whatever the case is, I need to constantly keep an open mind and review what I'm doing. One of my very short-term goals yesterday, and it's just a tradition in my house, was take down the Christmas decorations for the year and watch football. Yes, I love to watch football. You all know that about me. And I did that. And what made it so much fun was I enlisted my next door neighbor, Ben, who is 7 years old. And he had the very best time helping me run things back and forth into the garage and helping put things in boxes. So I got an added benefit from that part of yesterday's plan, which And I sent him home all the leftover Christmas cookies because he's very active and he can actually handle those. And I use a recipe that's not real high sugar, especially for my oatmeal cookies that he likes. So it was a win-win situation for Ben and me and for his parents because it gave them some rest from Ben because he's pretty much a high energy guy. So yesterday was good. I worked my plan. I and yesterday evening, I sort of took some time to just be still and to be quiet and review what had and hadn't worked as I begin this journey. And every day is an opportunity to do different or do better or disregard because it's not working. I looked at yesterday's major milestones that I wanted to hit, and that was exciting because I hit every single one without even realizing that I was going to do it. Yesterday's meals were actually quite healthy, and those had been done simply by making certain that I had the food I needed available to prepare the right kind of meals for me, that my family and I enjoy. So that made that very, very easy. My activity was no problem at all. Taking all the Christmas decorations down had me up and down ladders and walking around the yard and all these kinds of things. So I definitely benefited from that. And I looked at the behaviors I had decided I wanted to change in terms of putting things away that tempt me and putting out things that I have trouble making sure I get in. I have the bowl back out in place on the kitchen counter, which has the fresh fruit in it, because that's one of the things that I find myself not keeping front of mind and not even thinking about most of the time is the use of fruit in a nutritionally well-balanced food plan. So it was all good. I looked at the resources I could draw upon and made sure they were in place. My chapter did not meet the day after Christmas. We met the next day unofficially just to make sure that we got the weight charts and everything off to our coordinator. So that was a very good thing. And I'm ready to go to my meeting today in just a few minutes to start the new year off fresh. And isn't it nice to have a fresh start to a brand new year where your weight accountability is going to be noted and off you go from that point on. Everything for the new year starts brand new, starts fresh. Those of you who are comps, as you weigh in, I, am confident that if you're not within your leeway, you will begin your plan to implement the change to get you back into your leeway within the required period of time. That accountability check-in at the meeting covers so many different things, though, besides the number that is reported on the scale. Are you walking? Are you journaling? Are you making sure you're eating healthy meals? Are you reaching out to others? Are you caring for yourself? There's so many things that are part of our journey. It's not just that number again on the scale. There's so much else that's involved. What priorities for this week are going to be your highest? What do you see as maybe target areas that may give you difficulty? And then are you prepared for those? When tasks are completed ahead of schedule, do you give yourself a little pat on the back and say, well done? I whipped that thing out in a hurry and now I have time to do this, an activity that I did not think I was necessarily going to have time to do. one of the things too is to always look at your support system. Are they too busy? They may want to help you, but things might have changed, and they may need to step back for a while and focus on other areas. And you don't want to not be with a support system in place that has the time available to help you as you need when you run up against that brick wall that all of us find from time to time, or that stream that has to be forded without slipping and falling down. There's just so many things that we need to review when we look at our plan. And I think my best message from the exercise we went through in December was we need to remain flexible. Decide what is our most high priority items, and then find the way that works to meet that most significant item, and to adjust accordingly. The flexibility to me is key to success. Workarounds are often absolutely essential. Commitments come up that we hadn't anticipated. So how do we meet the commitment in another area of our life and still still meet this commitment that we made for our personal selves? Being my best me requires I take time to be my best me. It's not going to happen if I give all that time away to other people. I'll have no time for me then. And that will probably make me an unhappy camper, because I think all of us need quality time for ourselves in order to strengthen our ability to be there for others, as necessitates in the course of a day, in the course of a week, a month, even in the course of a year. Over this last week, I talked with so many members from my family as we did our usual year-end check-in with each other. It's what we call the "How are you doing really?" conversation that has been a part of our family ever since my kids became adults. Because a lot of times they don't tell mom everything if they're struggling or having challenges or difficulties. I didn't do it with my parents. I didn't want them to worry about me. And I think my kids are the same way. They don't want me worrying about them. They're adults, they say, and they can figure this stuff out on their own. Well, all of us pretty much are adults, but sometimes we need a little help from our friends and family. And that song has been playing through my head as I've been talking to you. I get by with a little help from my friends. And boy, isn't that the truth? We can plan well and begin, but we reframe as needed. We do not stick to something that we think is set in stone. It is not. We have flexibility to get to where we want to go. And if I learned nothing during the previous year, flexibility was one of those most important lessons. It doesn't mean you made a mistake or you did anything wrong. Things just changed. And I hope you have begun your journey for this year and are learning how to adapt your plan to reach the goals that you have set for yourself in this new year more efficiently and more effectively, and with less stress and anxiousness about what you have put in place for yourself. So continue every day to work your plan and take time to review it, to reflect on how it's working, and to refine it as you need. It's your plan after all. Refine it as you need each and every day of this brand new year. And remember, we're each opening a present every day this year. I've opened 2 wonderful presents so far on January the 1st and today on January 2nd as I talk with you all. And I think it's going to be a pretty spectacular new year. And I'm going to do my very, very best to make it so. You all have a great day. Enjoy this new year that we have in front of us, and I will check in with you later. Bye for now.